Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Stanek here. In today's video, like always, we are diving into Bitcoin analysis. So before that happen, like always remember, nothing you hear in this video is a financial advice, it's just my personal opinion. So I recorded our previous video on 13th morning European time, right? So that was about 3.5 hours before the new CPI report. And of course, we spoke about the CPI report and that potentially the Bitcoin price action and traditional market price action will be driven by the numbers from the current CPI report. Like you see, the forecast was about 8.1%. We end up with the 8.2%. So of course, on the markets, we saw a negative reaction, right? Negative reaction on Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq. In the same time, we saw this dip in Bitcoin price, right? There was an information that at the moment the new CPI report came, someone dumped 2,500 Bitcoins in one moment, which probably was not too helpful. And the price decided to go lower, of course, right? So in the previous video, when we spoke about the potential scenarios, what can happen with the CPI report, of course, we spoke about the bullish scenario and the bearish one. Like I said, in my opinion, the price was driven by the results of the CPI report, right? So when we recorded our last video, Bitcoin was holding this support in here, right? So we've been at these levels of $19,000. We can remove this Fibonacci retracement tool because we've been using it for our bullish scenario. But when you put the Fibonacci retracement tool from this angle, you will see that the moment I was recording our previous video, Bitcoin held the support of 1 fib, $18,923, right? So we've been trading above this low in here. And I was telling you that my expectations are that when Bitcoin loses the support of 1 fib, I am expecting a retest of this low and eventually of this swing low as well, right? So like you see with this wick, we perfectly retested this low, right? The only thing is that the moment you're losing your 1 fib support, my target always is 1618 fib, right? Which is $18,000. Like you see, we saw a bounce from $18,158. In my opinion, there is still a high possibility that in some point we are planning to come back here to retest this level of 18,000, right? After a bounce from this level, and this white line I was giving you as a potential point of bounce, 18,158, we saw the bounce in Bitcoin in traditional markets as well. S&P got a decent bounce, but we never been able to come back and try to hit those highs in here, right? Which is quite negative because of course you're doing a lower high, right? So you can see that in the end of the day, the volume, we're losing the volume and the momentum. The one thing I forgot to tell you, before we've been moving in this rising wedge formation, right, which is a bearish pattern, and the technical target, the moment we lost this trendline support in here, was all the way down in here, right? And when we started to form the wedge, so like you see, this technical target was hit as well, right? So yeah, so at this stage, after seeing a bounce from those levels, we've been rejected in here at $19,856 and we coming back down again. So from the Elliott wave point perspective, my expectation was this is the wave, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive wave down after being rejected at this first high. And then my expectation was that this is our A, B, and C, right? And I'm still not quite sure this is the case, right? Because the price action was a little bit dodgy in here, especially with this drop and this quick bounce. In my opinion, there is a high chance that was our end of our wave 5. This is our wave 4. This is our wave 3, right? So this is the impulsive move to the downside, 5 waves. And currently we are looking on our A, B, and C. C potentially got a chance to come back all the way up and retest this high in here at $20,456, right? So you need to remember, each time you are rejected, you moving down to the local swing low, which is in here, right? So we lost this swing low, so we've been moving to the next one just in here. We lost that one, so we've been moving to the next one, which was in here at $18,158. When you saw a bounce, you moving up and you try to come back to this local high, okay? And then you try to break it and put another higher high. So at this stage, my understanding is that Bitcoin is trying to go all the way up here to 20,500 and just swipe these highs, right? But when you're looking on the current market, current situation, of course, it's a weekend at the moment, so the volume will be quite poor, right? The previous weekends are not really representing a decent volume, so it's hard for me to expect we can see a massive breakout in here, right? Or like a massive pump. But in the end of the day, if this counting is correct and we saw a 5, 3, 5, okay, that's the next expectation. So the zigzag correction. In the same time, we can see a massive, from this rejection in here, we can see a massive A, B, and C, okay? So there are two I will say scenarios in here, and it's really hard to say at this stage which of them will play out, right? And like you see, we lost a lot of momentum. We lost a lot of momentum in here, and we are moving down, right? My expectation was there is a chance we can hold the support of 786, but like you see, we already lost this support on the 4 hourly, so that's mean the retest of 1 FIP again is highly probable, right? If it's only a B wave correction, then there is a chance we are holding this support in here at $19,030, and from here we can move up and try to finish this C wave, right? But when you're looking on your RSI and stock RSI, of course we've been quite overheated in here on the stock RSI and the RSI. That's the reason why we got rejected in here as well, right? It's not only because there was a high level of support before and resistance. Of course, this is the reason as well. That's the reason why we got rejected, but we've been overheated in here on the stock RSI and RSI, so the correction was needed in here, right? So at this stage, the 1 hourly, it is a little bit on the floor. 4 hourly is not too bad. 8 hourly is correcting as well. Daily is correcting as well. And at the same time, when you look on the, I'm using GMX platform, right? So when you see the ratio between the longs and the shorts, there is still at this moment $22 million in longs and $51 million in shorts, right? So there's more shorts than longs. There is still a chance for like a short squeeze, right? So when we move in lower, there is a chance that people add into the short positions, right? So when we see a bounce and this C wave will take us to 20,500, of course majority of this position get liquidated, right? So I will expect at this stage that instead of holding this support at $19,030, we can go lower and basically retest again this one fib level of $18,923. And from this point, okay, we can see a bounce. Of course, I'm thinking about a little bit longer correction here till one fib, just to give enough time for RSI and stock RSI on the 4-hourly to cool down a little bit, right? But my expectation is that from this point, or even from the current point, right, because it's really hard to predict on this stage how low we can go, because we already lost more than half of these gains, right, from this bounce from the point of $18,158. So when Bitcoin gets to the bottom of wave B, I will expect a bounce, and then the next important level, if we get there, will be $20,450, right? If you break through $20,456, that would be quite bullish, right? You're looking on continuation, and you will move up probably to 22.5, maybe 23,000. But you need to remember, you need a lot of volume for that, right? And the current market, the current stage of the market is not really so bullish. It's really depend on the next Fed step and red hike, right? So time will tell. But this moment I will expect this 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and probably after that will be another move to the downside, right? So that would be our 535, which is our zigzag correction. But that's the prediction I'm giving at this moment. But of course, the most important part at this stage is how deep will be the B wave, right? So you know my expectation for the current moment, and I would probably stick to this pattern in here, which is 535 zigzag correction, right? But then again, like I said, if Bitcoin can break $20,456, then we short-term bullish, I will say, right? Because this level in here, it is a level of quite a strong resistance, right? Even if you look in here, that was a point of a strong resistance. So I think definitely Bitcoin breaking through this level will be bullish. But let's wait and see. First of all, we need to find the bottom of wave B, and then I am expecting a bounce. So that's my short-term prediction, is that we might see a bounce. Of course, be careful, because it's a weekend, volume is quite tricky, so not necessarily we can go all the way up to $20,500, right? The next point, after breaking this level, the next resistance points, you got the orange lines in here, 20,800, 21,200, and eventually 22,500, and of course this high in here at 22,800, right? So Bitcoin breaking to 20,500 is quite bullish, and potentially we might see a impulsive move to the upside, retesting this high. But this stage honestly is a bit too quick to call that out. I will wait, like I said, I will wait for what is the bottom of B wave, and then I will expect this C bounce, right? Alright, that's about it for today. I hope this update was quite valuable and give you a picture of the current situation on Bitcoin. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.